Assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah. I think we are here after a long time.
No, not that long. Few weeks. It doesn't look like that long. So recently, as everybody has seen, there's been a warfare, a bad climate for the Palestinians right now, a complete genocide of what's going on. And today, we just want to discuss, just talk about it, and to reflect on what we can do as Muslims for the Palestinians.
So yeah, for the last 3 weeks or more than that now, it's been a very difficult time, not only for the Palestinians but for the whole Ummah, to be honest. Like, we're all feeling the pain. Many people, the amount of messages personally I've been receiving, people approaching us in the masjid, and I'm sure this is with all the Imams and all the different scholars, is happening the same, where people are saying that, we can't see this suffering anymore, we don't know what to do, please can you So the last few weeks I've been going around to different masajid and different places, and even different madrasas and places to do assemblies to the kids as well on the topic of Palestine. And we need to understand that this genocide that is happening is only escalated in the last 3 weeks. Otherwise, the Palestinians have been living with this suffering for the last 78 years, so nearly 8 decades. Like, it's been a while. Like, they can't even go to school properly. I don't know if you've been to Palestine.
No, no.
Inshallah, Allah take. Like, I've been, alhamdulillah, I've been quite a few times, and Allah keep on taking us again and again. And I remember, like, this happened in front of us. I think this was back in 2018 or 19, one of the years. I don't remember exactly. So a girl was just going to school or coming back from school or something, just a random 8-9-year-old girl, and she had a backpack, her school bag, and the Israeli soldier just started telling her, what's in the bag, started being aggressive with her, and she just started just ignoring that, why you trying to trouble me for no reason. And she just shot he just shot her for no reason, and that's it. Like, for them, for these people, Israeli, Palestine and Palestinians don't mean anything. Like, they don't even regard them as humans. They don't even for them it's just like a game, just to kill them, just to keep them under occupation.
This happened in 2019.
Yeah, so but this is just because I was there for them few days, so we saw it.
It wasn't on the media, you saw it.
It never comes in the media, and that's what is happening now. Now it's just that the world is waking up to it. Now the world can see the biasness of the media, how one-sided the media is. Like, but alhamdulillah, we need to understand that whatever we are doing at this moment in time, they are trying so hard to push a particular narrative in the media. But alhamdulillah, due to social media, like, Facebook and whatever it is, Twitter and all this, the Palestinian people's cause, their voice is overtaking everything. Other people are coming out and they are saying that, wow, now we actually feel the pain. If non-Muslims are saying this as well, that, these Palestinians are just standing up for their rights, they are not doing anything wrong. They have the full right, according to the international law, to do whatever they are trying to do. Yeah, and Israelis have no right to occupy them and keep them under camps. People, they say Gaza is like a open air prison. It's worse than a prison. In a prison you get food.
Yeah, you don't get food or water. There's no water.
For the last 3 weeks there's hardly anything. Just, I think I was speaking to a charity just 2 days ago or something. They were saying that they've just managed to open it a little bit, or they are going to open it. So they just, after so much pressure, they managed to get something through. Can you just imagine, it's worse than a prison? How can the people live? So we can understand, the Palestinians, understanding their faith or the suffering, what they've been going through for years. And now, at this moment in time, it's like, in the last 3 weeks, over 6,000. I was just looking at the statistics today. Over 6,700 plus have been martyred in Palestine.
In the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
And most of them are children, kids. Nearly 2,000 of them are like kids. What have the kids done? Is it like civilians?
So I want to ask you, you've been there, you said 3-4 times.
More than that, alhamdulillah.
More than that. So a person can say you're very well educated, well informed about the situation. That a person can say.
I'm trying to, inshallah. We're always learning. We're always trying to learn more and more about Palestine, because, to be honest, Palestine is not only a political issue, it's an issue of Iman. Allah mentions Masjid al-Aqsa, the land around it in Quran, and the Prophet ﷺ went there, Mi'raj. So it has a very strong Islamic link with it. And to be honest, like, I don't know if you know, Masjid al-Aqsa is the only place where all the prophets of Allah perform salah together.
Subhanallah.
This didn't even happen in Mecca. It's the only place on the earth where all the 124 approximately prophets, they perform salah together, and the Imam was the Prophet ﷺ when he was on his way to Mi'raj, or on the way back from Mi'raj.
So recently we've gained all these attacks and these missiles and such, but this happened 3 weeks ago. You, a person who's been there a few times, what happens there on a daily basis, which is that nobody knows about, which doesn't go in the mainstream media?
Like they can't live a normal life. They can't even go to school properly, like the school.
No schools.
Like school kids. I just mentioned to you about a girl. She was going to school or coming back from school.
What do they have which we take for granted here?
They just don't have the luxury of just free movement. Palestine.
Curfews.
There's checkpoints everywhere. Like many people, they can see Masjid al-Aqsa from the house, but they can't go there.
You can't go there
because there's so many checkpoints. And when we go to a checkpoint, then the Israeli officers will say, "Where's your permit?" And they'll never give them a permit. So they'll ask them, "Where's your permit?" They say, "We don't." They say, "Go back."
Go back.
And they will not allow them to go through. So he said, when the Palestinian houses permit runs out and they try to renew it, they never get renewed. And then when an Israeli doesn't have a permit, his permit gets renewed straight away. So imagine you living in your own house. Your great grandparents have been living in that house, and you've been owning that house, and just randomly one guy, the authorities turn up and they said, "This house doesn't belong to you anymore. Get out with all your furniture and everything. You're on the street now, and that house now belongs to somebody else." Now imagine, like, what kind of life is that? It's not even a normal life. Like, which law in the world will ever allow something like this? And this is happening regularly in Palestine.
But the worst thing is, it's not even being shown.
They don't allow it. They don't allow it to be shown. like to the world, they show a different picture. So it's like two-faced kind of thing, isn't it? To the world, they'll show you a different picture. Oh, Palestine is the only democracy. They have rights, and Israel, they have rights for everyone. It's very fair, everything. But we can clearly, now the world is clearly seeing that it's an apartheid state. All the facilities on one side, and then they've got a wall as well. They've got a separating wall.
From where to where? From where?
From the West Bank. They've got a separating wall around Gaza. Yeah. So for example,
which is, I believe, is guarded and around with
it's very high as well. For example, this is Palestine. So
Palestine in 1946.
Yeah. So this was the whole of Palestine. There was no Israel. Yeah? And then now look at hardly any Palestine left.
And that's 2012.
Yeah.
So it's probably gone worse.
10 years later. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now they're telling people, Gazan people, at this moment in time, that you need to empty the southern part or the northern part go down. Yeah. So empty the top part out. Yeah. But these people who are in Gaza at the moment, they're already refugees. They were taken out from all these other areas and pushed in there.
They went to Gaza.
And they have the right to return back. But they are being told, you can't go back. So it's like telling refugees to become more refugees. Like, what kind of life is that? Like, people in Gaza are already refugees. And we're telling them, go further down, more refugees. It's like, in every law, every international law, every human right is being broken. And the sad thing is, the world power is supporting this. All this genocide, on the context that Israel has the right to defend itself, all these things. Yeah. They're not understanding the Palestinian plight, the justice for Palestinians. It seems like the human rights organization seems to be asleep when it comes to Palestinian lives.
But
not only Muslims, even non-Muslims, even Christians are suffering.
yes, recently the Christian church which got blown up.
Yeah. So it's been a really sad state of
Affairs.
affairs in the last. And maybe sometimes we feel that there's so many Muslim countries around. For example,
So because if you look at the map, there's I think Lebanon just up ahead.
Lebanon is at the top,
and then Syria just
Egypt on this side.
Syria is atop of that as well.
So Syria is there, Jordan on this side.
Yeah.
Saudi at the bottom, Egypt on this side. Yes.
And then I think above Jordan is Iraq and Iran.
Yeah, a bit more on that side.
Yeah.
Turkey is further.
So very close, very close.
Yeah. So many people, they feel like, the governments are not doing anything. The governments are not supporting. Why are they not doing anything for Palestine and the Palestinian cause? To be honest, yeah, they are not doing anything. They are, not being helpful in this situation, which is, we all say is wrong. But at the same time, because they're not doing anything yet, inshallah, we do hope that inshallah they will do something, but they're not doing anything yet. Because of that, every Muslim or every human who's got some humanity in his heart is feeling that, I want to do something for these Palestinians. I don't know if you feel like that or not.
I do, 100%.
The amount of people that have approached me in the last few weeks, people come from the mosque, people just randomly. One day, one guy, he woke up in the morning, Fajr time, he's messaging me, he said, I couldn't sleep all night. I'm thinking I want to really do something, I can't just stand watching these photos and these videos. Deep down in his heart, wallah, help me do something. And they all feel part of it. The whole ummah feels that I want to do something. And that's the feeling of the ummah. That we all, if only the government did something, we would have that feeling.
No.
But because the government is not doing something, we all have that feeling.
Individual Muslims feel.
Yeah. And that's the feeling of the ummah. And that's what Allah loves. That Aqsa and Palestine is not a government problem, it's a problem of the whole ummah. And we should all
there's one thing,
whatever we can do.
There's one thing I want to bring forward is that recently I wanted to donate, as every other Muslim wants to donate, which Palestine. Whenever there's an earthquake, and I believe every Muslim wants to go ahead and
Morocco,
donate. Yeah.
Libya.
But you know what's happening? What's really sad in Palestine is that people donated and the trucks were stopped. They couldn't go into Gaza.
That's that's another thing that
all the donation went to waste.
No, but I think they did allow some of them to go through. I think 2 days ago or something, I think they did allow about 20 trucks or something to go through.
But the fact that they stopped them for even a while.
Yeah, that's why we need to put pressure on, for example, people like Egypt to open the crossing. At least, okay, not allowing the Palestinians to come through this way, but at least allow the aid to go through in. So at least they can got something to live on. You can't be just totally deserting them, totally, neglecting them without doing anything to them. So, so the Palestinian issue is the main issue at this moment, and it's always been an issue. Even in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, Masjid Aqsa was under occupation.
It was.
Yeah. The Prophet ﷺ,
he only got liberated in time of Umar radhiyallahu anhu.
The Prophet ﷺ did not go to Masjid Aqsa in a normal way. He went through the miraculous way, with the Buraq when he went to Mi'raj, because it wasn't possible for him to go the normal way. And he never saw Aqsa being liberated in his life, in
his lifetime. Yeah,
it happened later on. Yeah, even in the time of Musa alayhi salam, further on, Musa alayhi salam, in his time, Aqsa was under occupation. Yeah, and he was trying his best to liberate Aqsa. And the command of Allah, he said to his people, "Ya qawmi idkhulul ardh al-muqaddasa." Enter this land and work towards liberating it. And then he passed away in the process. He never saw Aqsa being liberated in his life as well. Musa alayhi salam never saw. But he said before he passed away that when I die, bury me as close as possible you come to Masjid Aqsa. Bury me. So then the Prophet ﷺ himself mentions that if I was there now, then I would have shown you his exact grave. The Prophet ﷺ was saying it's just a stone's throw away from Masjid Aqsa. So it's like about half an hour away. It's in a place called Jericho.
I've heard of this.
You know, you get them dates.
All right.
Jewel dates, you know, them big ones. It's very juicy and sweet ones. You know,
I don't remember. I don't remember the taste, but I know the medjool dates.
Palestinian dates.
Yeah,
so they all grow there.
All right. Okay.
All. You know, whenever you go to Musa alayhi salam's grave and you just go a bit further, all the date, you know, they'll give you like big baskets of dates. You know, they're all. So that's Jericho. Ariha is like one of the oldest places on earth. Very old. One of the oldest places. So Palestine is full of history. Palestine, number one, what we need to do, I think rather than repeating what is already going on, I think in this podcast we should just tell people
the importance,
action plan, what we should do. What like many people, they know everything.
Yeah, they know the history. This has been going on for years.
Like everybody knows importance of Palestine.
Yeah,
everybody knows what's going on now as well, because they're all following the news, social media, and the WhatsApps are just full of it. You know, every group is like 50 messages, 100 messages. It is just full of. So we don't need to repeat that. What I was thinking that this time is a very, very good opportunity to educate ourselves and our family and the wider community. The real thing of Palestine. What the media is trying to push and what the world power wants, let us go against it. Let us tell everybody the reality. That on one side, and you have people who are, you know, occupiers, and they have the Palestinians who have been occupied, so we have to tell them the true story, the true story.
Media battle, the right.
So it's a good opportunity for us to learn, you know, to read up and to educate ourselves on the, you know, Palestine, history of Palestine, the importance. We can read up different books and all that.
I feel like one thing we should do is to change the narrative the mainstream is putting is occupiers and occupants. Who is who?
Another issue which they are pushing is that it's a war.
It's not a war.
It's a genocide.
This is what's going on. A war is when two people are fighting equally.
On one side, you have people who are fully armed, being supported by the world powers, like all the arms that we just, you know, saw some of the world leaders going there with all these latest, you know, weapons and everything.
And the funds.
And on the other hand, you have just people who are just trying to defend themselves with hardly any weapon to defend themselves. They're just trying to protect the homes, protect the lands, with hardly any support from anyone. No support is being given. So you can't call that a war. You can never call that a war. That is like a genocide. On one side, it's like the world power is supporting the occupiers, the bullies, and neglecting, you know, saying Israel has the right to defend themselves. But okay, Israel has the right to defend themselves, but does the Palestinians have the right to defend themselves? Like, why are you like just supporting or giving all the support to one side and neglecting the other side?
And what ironic is that at this time the Russian and the Ukrainian war is happening as well, so we can clearly see the biasness.
Double standards.
Yeah,
it just opened everybody's eyes.
Yeah,
you know, what was the attitude? What was the, you know, the narrative that was being pushed in the Ukraine war, and now what is the same? If
Ukraine does it, it's okay, no problem. Palestinian does it, no, we're not having that. Everyone, we're coming, we're here to defend you.
It's as if Palestinian lives don't mean anything. No, you know, that's the sad thing, that as if Palestine and Palestinian lives and Palestinian children doesn't mean anything, and that is very sad. You know, we're just showing the world, it's just showing the world how hypocritical world that we are living in. Double standards. UN is there, but they're not doing anything. They just say, we condemn, but do something. Is condemning the only thing? Is writing press releases the only thing? We're all just having a meeting and just discussing, but you never had a meeting for other things. But you are having a meeting just for, and on the other hand, the bombs are still being dropped. Just 2 days ago was the worst night for the Gazan people. The amount of bombs that are being dropped on innocent people, hospital. Like, which terrorist in a hospital?
There's not even an answer. What answer are they going to give?
To be honest, like, we just don't know what to do. Like it's so clear. It's so clear. You know, the amount of bloodshed, civilians are being killed, and it's just so sad that all this is being allowed to happen in front of us and supported by the world powers, and we just feel so helpless that we can't do anything.
Recently I saw these big ulama, they were saying, boycott such and such because they support Israel. Especially, I don't know if you heard of Disney. If you heard of Disney, it's a big film studio and whatnot. So everyone started to boycott them, and their stocks dropped. Disney, McDonald's, and other companies, if you see recently, the stocks have dropped. So as you can see, having a boycott really does make an impact.
Yeah, it does. Boycott was the same action that brought down the apartheid government in South Africa. Yeah, you know, in South Africa before 1994 or something, they had the apartheid government, and due to boycott, it brought them down. So it does make a difference. It does make a difference.
Any common stuff we should boycott? Just common, very common.
Coca-Cola. HP. Adidas. You know, all these big companies, they literally just think that when I'm buying this, I'm actually, maybe it could be a bullet to a Palestinian. It could be a bomb on them. So I'd rather just avoid. So some people say, I remember before Ramadan, we normally give the dates, check the label thing, out. Yeah, that don't buy the Israeli dates, boycott them. So once we were giving out some leaflets outside one of the masjids, and one guy, he came up and he said, is there any point of all this? I said, look, you got a choice. On one side you have an Israeli date, which could be a few pennies towards, harming a Palestinian child or something. On the other hand, you've got another option of buying a non-Israeli date, which is not going towards anything like that. At least go for the other option.
Do what you can do. Do your part.
At least we can say to Allah on the day of Qiyamah that, oh Allah, I did this little bit of mine. What was in my capacity, what was in my control, I tried. What was beyond me, what I couldn't do, then of course, wallah, I really wanted to do, but I couldn't do it legally, it wasn't allowed. So then I'm sure Allah will not hold us to accountable for something like which is beyond us.
Which we can't do, yes.
Yeah. But inshallah, what is in our capacity, we can write letters to the MPs, to the councillors, to the human rights organization, sign petitions, protest, wherever we can do. Many people, they say that, is this allowed? Is this what will writing letters do? We wrote letters 2 years ago as well. We wrote letters no, carry on writing letters. Sometimes we want results to happen instantly. I write a letter today, immediately tomorrow
they're going to open it, that's it.
Yeah,
sign the document.
Sometimes we have to be on it, just keep on doing it until, just keep on putting that pressure, because then only we will see the results. Sometimes maybe inshallah we'll see Aqsa being liberated in our life, inshallah, or maybe not, maybe after our life, like how it happened in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But we, from whatever we are doing today, we'll all get the reward of it, because we are all playing a part towards the liberation of Palestine, Aqsa, helping the Palestinian cause, the Palestinian people. So we are all doing our bit, whatever we can do, as much as we can do. Don't look down on anyone in any way, as long as they're not doing anything un-Islamic. Everything is legal, everything is according to Sharia, everything is, so then we should just try to. So number one, make a lot of dua. If you're not even making dua, then what are we doing? To be honest, when I see the masjid empty the last 2-3 weeks, I'm thinking that subhanallah, even after all this, the masjid is still empty.
I'd say take it to a point and dedicate at least one tahajjud to them. One tahajjud at least. I'm saying one isn't even enough, but I'd say at least do one tahajjud.
So if you can't wake up for tahajjud every day, at least wake up for tahajjud once or twice a week. Fast on a Thursday, Monday and Thursday, or as much as you can, just to anything to attract the help of Allah. Fill the masajid. Sometimes we're living a double life. On one side we are crying for the Allah help the ummah. But on the other hand, we are upsetting Allah. We are at war with Allah ourselves. We've got our house on mortgage, we've got our car on finance, and we've got all these other things. So we are living like a double life.
There's this one mufti explained it to me. He said, so example, your dad, first you beat him, shout at him, scream at him, and then he said, ask for money for him. Is Allah going to answer your call? No.
So, we should say, out of solidarity for the Palestinian cause, from now on, I will never miss my Fajr Salah. Out of solidarity for the Palestinian cause, I will never, going to avoid all type of interest usually. Out of solidarity, I'm not going to, do any haram with anyone. Make a few, dealings with Allah. That Allah, from now on, this disobedience will never be in my life. Then see how, inshallah, Allah's
I think there's one misconception that we have as Muslims is that, we're going to be answerable for only our sins of the day of Qiyamah. Say it plainly, will we be answerable for the crimes that are happening against Palestinians, or if we did or did not do anything in the Day of Judgment?
Yeah. Like if we had the opportunity to do something, and we didn't do, we could have got the voice out. We could have sent a message to the.
Like you just said, many examples. Boycotting.
Like Salahuddin Ayyubi rahimahullah. When we hear that name, we get a buzz. Everybody gets
Salahuddin.
Yeah. But he wasn't just a person who just came out from the sky or something. He was a normal guy like me and you. And the problems that we're having today, he had in fact worse problems. But for the first few years, the first 5 years, and even more than that, 10 years, he was just writing letters to the authorities. But he had a vision that I want to liberate it. From the age of 12, he had a vision. So, his parents, gave him such a upbringing, such a nurturing that from a young age, he had that type of mindset. So the parents need to really understand the issue themselves, educate the children. So even when we are not here, the children take it on a different level. The children are ready to take that vision forward. Because Salahuddin didn't come along just like that. It was his parents who worked on him, his family, his teachers, his mentors who worked on him, and he made him. So, we really need to, if we want to see some Salahuddin today, then we need to really take lessons from his life. And inshallah, Allah will. But we need to make some change in our life. Allah doesn't change the situation of any people unless they make a change themselves. So, out of solidarity, I said, liberate ourselves from that bed at the time of Fajr. Allah will liberate us. Liberate ourselves from that haram in our life, from free mixing, gambling, committing fraud against anybody, lying, backbiting, liberate ourselves from these things. And then inshallah, sometimes small things can make a big difference. Sometimes we say, these are just my personal, well, it's your personal issue, but you're not living yourself. You're part of the ummah. You're part of the ummah. We need to understand that whatever I do have an effect on myself, and not only on myself, it has an effect on the whole ummah. Like one guy smoking, everybody around him can smell that smoke. See? So one guy got a perfume, everybody around him can feel the good smell of that perfume. So similarly, my good deeds will have an effect on everybody around me, and my evil deed will have an effect on everybody around me as well. So inshallah, so a few things, let's just sum it up inshallah. Number one, make a lot of dua. Number two, write a lot of voice letters, emails, whatever, to the people of authority, International Criminal Court, Human Rights Organization, UN Human Rights, whatever, as many, or even other governments, Turkey, Egypt, Jordan, put pressure on them as well. Nowadays it's very easy. We can just do all that online.
Everyone's email address is available. Email address, postal codes, everything available online.
Yeah, so we can just nowadays. Before you had to write a letter, buy the envelope.
And this excuse won't work. You can find the burger shop which is open late at night. You can find the email address for Jordan and Palestine and Lebanon and all these countries. Yeah, and number three, boycott all the things that are supporting Israel. Boycott it. Number four, help the Palestinian cause, educate yourself, buy Palestinian products that will help the Palestinian farmers, Palestinian, businesses, whatever. Donate to charities that are already in Gaza. Those charities that are not already in Gaza, for them it might be difficult to get in. But those that have already been working in there for a while, it's easy for them because they've already got a plan of the things coming in and out. Like I was talking to one of the charities, they were mentioning that they've been working in Gaza for the last 10 years.
So they've already got network. Yeah, sometimes due to at the moment there was a bit of a blockade, but they managed to like try to get a few things here and there. So if charities are already working in Gaza, and just tell the people that it's not, a war is a humanitarian issue, is a genocide, and the world is against not helping the cause at all, and we need to, as soon as possible, try to put a ceasefire, or try to so we can stop any more lives from being lost. We've already lost so many lives. So inshallah,
I'd say one more thing is visit Palestine when these atrocities end. Well, they won't end, but when they settle down a bit.
Yeah, like the hadith of Maymuna radiallahu anha, not the wife of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but another Maymuna radiallahu anha. She said, I asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, tell me about Masjid al-Aqsa. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, is a land of mahshar, ardul mahshari wal manshar, a land where everybody will be gathered on the day of Qiyamah, etc. And then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that if you can go there and perform salah there, go there and perform salah there. And if you are unable to, then send some oil or something that will be used, for the lights in Masjid Aqsa. So it is mentioned that she did send some oil there,
like some lamp oil.
For lantern or something. So there is like a well, like a hole in the ground where there is you can see some bright light underneath it. He said that was the oil that she must have sent. Like, wallahu alam, that's what they say. So Sulaiman alayhi salam, when he built Masjid al-Aqsa, he made 3 dua to Allah. One of the dua he made that, oh Allah, whoever comes to this masjid just with the intention to perform salah here, oh Allah, make him return back in a way clean from sins, the day like his mother gave him birth, like the day his mother gave him birth, totally pure. So there's a very, very virtuous place, and I'll just finish with this, inshallah. I was just telling some of the students yesterday as well. I said, in regards to performing one salah in Masjid al-Aqsa, one salah, and whoever are there, the Palestinian people, they are there protecting Masjid al-Aqsa. On one side we have Baytullah, and on one side we have Baytul Maqdis. You have two things. Baytullah, Allah is protecting it, but Baytul Maqdis, the Ummah need to protect it. And the Palestinians, we need to give it to them that they are fulfilling that on behalf of the rest of the Ummah.
So we are all big credit to them.
Yeah, we are indebted to them. So Baytul Maqdis, the Palestinian people, subhanallah, they've been through a lot, but subhanallah, they're still firm on the Iman. Today, we are so, many people
one small mistake, one small problem, that's it, gone.
And we start losing faith, and subhanallah, even after so much, the Iman is so strong. The faith is so so the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in one narration he comes, like I came across 5 narrations, regards to virtually perform salah in Masjid al-Aqsa. Number 1 salah in Masjid al-Aqsa is equal to 500 salah. Number 2, 1 salah in Masjid al-Aqsa is equal to 1,000 salah. Number 3, 1 salah in Masjid al-Aqsa is equal to 5,000 salah. Number 4, 1 salah in Masjid al-Aqsa is 12,500 salah. Meaning quarter of Masjid al-Nabi. So Masjid al-Nabi is 50,000 salah, so quarter of that is 12.5. And number 5, we've got the book in the library as well, Fadailul Quds. It was written, 1 salah in Masjid al-Aqsa is equal to 50,000 salah.
It's the same.
So I was thinking that, have I read it right? I kept on reading it again and again, and it said 50,000 salah, 50. Then I was trying to work out, in one of the podcasts I mentioned that the Prophet ﷺ made dua that Allah, Ibrahim alayhi salam made Makkah haram sacred.
Yes,
so
make Medina.
Yeah, so make Medina haram and double it. So the ulama, because of this, they say that whatever you get in Makkah, you get double that in Medina. So if 1 salah in Makkah is 100,000, Medina is 200,000. So quarter of that is 50,000. So it all adds up. So we really need to, instead of going here and there for holiday, we really need to go to Masjid al-Aqsa, go there, perform salah there, make dua. That is a blessed land. So, if you go to Masjid al-Aqsa, there's so much history, inshallah we'll do maybe a full lesson just on the history of Masjid al-Aqsa.
We need to get history books out.
Yeah, I don't think we can do justice in like one podcast or like one talk or something. But if you in the compound, like many people, they look at Masjid Aqsa and they see the Dome of the Rock and they say, oh, that's not Masjid Aqsa. Masjid Aqsa is like the one at the front, Qibli. We need to understand that that whole compound in Masjid Aqsa, even that Dome of the Rock is part of it. Even
that Dome of the Rock is part of it.
So in that compound, there's 6 masjids in total. 6 like.
So all of them are Masjid Aqsa.
Yeah, the whole compound is Masjid Aqsa. From in the Dome of the Rock is one of them, Masjid al-Qubba. Then we've got the actual Qibli. When Umar radiallahu anhu liberated Aqsa, then the Sahaba asked him that, Umar, where should we put the Musalla? So he said, work out where the Qibla is. Then they worked out and then he said, okay, Qibla will be. So put the Musalla there. So that is Masjid al-Qibli. In those days it was just a wooden masjid, but then now it's become like, yeah. And then the other governments, Ottomans and everybody, Abbasid Khilafat, they made it like a big Umayyads and all this. So so the Masjid al-Qibli is there, the Dome of the Rock is there, then you've got Marwani, which is underneath, a very big place where most of the people who go to do i'tikaf, they're there, like you can accommodate about 30,000 people. And then you've got the old masjid, which is underneath, the original masjid. Yeah. And then you've got Masjid al-Buraq, where they say that the Prophet ﷺ, when he went to Mi'raj, he tied his
horse,
his camel or something. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, camel. What was it?
Oh, that was horse.
Yeah, his Buraq, and they've got some type of hook there or something where they say that. And there's Bab al-Rahmah, that's it. There's Bab al-Rahmah on the other side. So the whole thing is Masjid al-Aqsa, the whole thing. So we need to really, so if you look at Masjid al-Aqsa, the compound of Masjid al-Aqsa, what I was forgetting, is you'll see a lot of these stools or these platforms. If you look at the picture, I don't know if you've seen the picture. So on one side of Masjid al-Aqsa, you see all these platforms, plenty of them. So once upon a time, around Masjid al-Aqsa compound, there used to be about 600 scholars having the circles of knowledge. 600 different scholars.
600 like groups of knowledge.
Yes. One will start with his 10 students, another will start with his 5 students, another will start with his 10 students, like that. Because they all used to say that that's a blessed lands. So they used to always go there for a few months, for a few weeks, get the blessings of those lands. Imam Ghazali rahimahullah, he wrote the book. He sat there and wrote the book, some parts of the book, Ihya ul-Ulum and all these books. He wrote, there's actually like a corner, a room where they say that Imam Ghazali used to sit there and write his books. So every pious person, every who has done some work of deen, they all used to go there to get the blessing of those lands. So Allah has blessed that land, and the people there are blessed. If we go there, will we not be blessed? Allah give blessing to the Ummah, inshallah, and we make dua that Allah, because of the barakah of such blessed lands, Allah doesn't even mention regarding this about Makkah or Medina. But when Allah mentioned Masjid al-Aqsa, Allah says the whole land around it is blessed. So Allah give all of us the ability, inshallah, to understand the issue and to help the issue and to whatever we can do to help the cause. Allah accept it from us, and Allah, make it easy for the Palestinians, inshallah.
Inshallah.